What up, guys? It's me, Menya, just like Kenya, and today we're gonna do something really exciting. Is life in Japan underrated or overrated? Food, fitness, and transportation. Go.
Let's take a break, been a long day. Hit your line, what you fall through with the light sticks. Maybe help me spark the ideas. We got nowhere else to go, it's only up from there. I've been on my own, just running through the field. Say vivid for the ears, I know that's how they like. Yeah, I fantasize. Tell me that it's real when it's all said and done. I said it.
Sushi.
Overrated, hugely.
Ramen.
Overrated, massively.
Okonomiyaki.
Overrated, pretty hugely. I just want to point out Risa agrees.
Tempura.
Tempura. Ooh. Overrated.
Tofu.
Underrated.
Yes. Udon.
Overrated.
Soba.
Underrated. Buckwheat. Underrated.
Yakitori.
Underrated.
Sashimi.
Overrated.
Curry rice.
Overrated.
Tonkatsu.
I think it's appropriately rated.
Overrated.
Okay, we're gonna go overrated.
Nabe.
Nabe. Underrated. Massively underrated. Nabe is incredible. Guys, make more nabe. You can take all the ingredients you want, throw it into a pot, and just make it taste amazing. Massively underrated.
Takoyaki.
Takoyaki. Overrated.
Udon-cha.
Udon-cha. Overrated.
Ryokucha.
Ryokucha. Overrated.
There's so much there.
Risa disagrees. We'll have to discuss this later.
Sake.
Sake. Sake bombs, appropriately rated. Sake the alcohol, overrated.
What?
You know what a sake bomb is? Quick lesson. Sake bomb is when you take a beer and you put 2 chopsticks on top of the beer, and then you put a shot of sake on top of the chopsticks, and then I think you hit the table. Do you guys know what sake bombs are? Please let me know if you guys know what sake bombs are. If you don't, you should try it.
Square watermelon.
I have never tried it, but overrated. There's no more nutritional benefit to square watermelon than regular round watermelon. It's just one of those Japanese things that they do and nobody really understands why.
It's so random.
It's so random.
Okay. Anytime fitness.
Massively underrated. It's convenient, it's everywhere.
I think
Underrated.
it's still a bit pricey.
I agree, it is pricey, it is pricey. So it's overpriced, but I think it's underrated in terms of like a gym to go to. It's pretty awesome.
Intensity matters.
Intensity matters. Shout out to Alan Wooding. Underrated, it is massively amazing. He does it in like Shiokane area. It's this like outdoor CrossFit-y like workout run by Alan Wooding, who's on my show. Go check out that video. But it's amazing. Intensity Matters is a great workout. He will kick your ass, but it's also really fun.
Gold Gym.
Gold's Gym, overrated. Bankruptcy US.
Orange Theory Fitness.
Orange Theory Fitness. I haven't been before, but I'm gonna go ahead and say overrated just because I don't like the branding. I think it's just way too orange, similar to F45, but the branding just like kills me. I can't deal with it. The orange is just like way too orange.
On all the orange.
It's just too orange.
Konami Sports.
Overrated. Massively overrated. There's just too much overrated.
Clubs 360.
Underrated. I think it's actually extraordinary. As an employee, overrated. We'll save that story for another time. As a user, great. Tipness. Overrated. Similar to Konami Sports, they're changing and Tipness is like kind of getting with it in terms of rebranding and creating classes and gym spaces that actually look pretty cool. But Tipness, like old Tipness, massively overrated. Tipness now? Tip Cross? Thank you. Tip Cross, appropriately rated.
We Are The Fit.
Underrated. You can't take photos or videos in Japan. At We Are The Fit, you can take photos and videos. You can do whatever you want. You can walk with your shoes, like your normal outdoor shoes. You can kind of do whatever you want, and that's, for me, a hallmark of a good gym. Anytime Fitness has the do whatever you want feel, except you can't take pictures and take videos, which is extremely dumb, especially in the age of Instagram. Guys, come on.
JoyFit.
JoyFit, overrated. Have you been to JoyFit?
No.
JoyFit struggles.
Really, F45. F45.
F45, underrated. I was actually going to bring an F45 franchise here to Japan. This was the big gym project I was working on for probably a year and a half, about 3 years ago. I opted not to bring it here for a variety of reasons, so I ended up not being the first person to open one here. Extraordinary branding. It is a pretty solid brand. The colors are done well. The studio looks good. I definitely recommend F45.
CrossFit.
CrossFit, sometimes overrated, sometimes underrated. If you want the most multidisciplinary training ever, CrossFit's amazing. If you want to just get in better shape, CrossFit might be okay for you, but honestly, I think it's probably just too much for your average person that kind of just wants to get moving again. It also depends on, how you approach it and who your coach is. Shout out to Marquine, who's an amazing CrossFit instructor. I know Mark personally, he's a wonderful guy. He's very smart. He's also been on my show. I'll be posting our table talk at some point in the future, probably early January. Sometimes overrated, sometimes underrated. I think it's appropriately rated.
Spartan Race Japan.
Spartan Race Japan. Oh, Overrated, Emily, I'm sorry. Ugh. If you've never done it, then you have to do it. In that sense, it would be underrated. If you've done 1, 2, or 3 of the races, I think it may be overrated. I would say overrated in general, but if you have never done it, then it is underrated, and you should definitely do at least one. Emily, I love you. Shout out to Emily, who actually runs Spartan Race Japan here.
Jexer.
Overrated. Although, I'm baby. Overrated in terms of the old school Tipness / Konami thing, but the new Jexers, they look dope as hell, guys. Like, they look really good. Trust me, these places look amazing. They're like new studios, incredible lights. Like, it looks like you're in a nightclub and you've got all this equipment everywhere, like black lights. I mean, it's pretty amazing. Feel cycle. Underrated, kind of. So the problem with Feel Cycle and me is that basically Feel Cycle just stole the name Soul Cycle from the States, which is a big cycling franchise. As a brand, they've actually done a really good job, and they're doing it. They're quite successful here in Japan. The workout itself, probably underrated. It's an extraordinarily good workout. B Monster is appropriately rated. B Monster Studio is like a boxing studio, so you basically go in, they've got like 20 bags in a room, there's loud music, it's a nightclub, and you're just pounding away at this bag with your instructor, I think, telling you what to do. Yeah, I'd give it an appropriately rated.
Pilates Trainers Online.
Pilates Trainers Online, amazing and underrated. If you guys haven't heard of it, go check it out. Obviously, it's Risa's shameless plug, but it's Risa's company's online service. They have Pilates classes every day, like 3 different classes, 4? 3, 4, 5 different classes, depending on the day, with different instructors all over Japan. It's all online. It's incredible.
Yay! Lean Body.
Lean Body, also underrated. They did a similar thing. They took a concept from the States, which is called the Daily Burn, but it's amazing. I'm on there with my Animal Flow program. Reese is on there with probably 3, 4, 5 different programs. Probably 6 different programs. I think she's actually also their brand ambassador. So also massively underrated, especially for those of you who are locked inside. Go check out Lean Body. It's amazing. Transportation part 3. Shinkansen, overrated. The Shinkansen's amazing. It's fast and convenient, but it is so expensive. In terms of one-time experience, yeah, it's worth riding the Shinkansen to try it, but definitely overrated.
Taxis.
Overrated, they're stupid expensive. Not even close to reasonable, just unreasonably expensive to ride cabs. They dropped the price down, starting price in Tokyo, to I think 450 yen to sit in the cab. So like, if I wanted to go like 500 meters down the road, I would spend $4.50 no matter what. I mean, overrated. Simple. Overrated.
Local buses.
Hugely underrated. Local buses are extremely convenient. I think people in Japan, we're so spoiled, we just ride the train all the time, but if you're trying to go a short distance or to get somewhere particular, you can usually take a local bus to go from one place to the other and like get right where you're trying to go. So hugely underrated. Ride the local bus more. The guys on the bus also have amazing voices and they go, "Ikimasu." What do they say? "Doakimasu." "Hirakimasu." Trains are perfectly appropriately rated. Trains are amazing. Public transportation in Japan is like nowhere else in the world. Completely on point, always on time, perfect.
Road bikes.
Underrated. If you live in downtown Tokyo and you don't have a bicycle of some form, get a bicycle. Tokyo is extremely safe, so many people don't wear helmets because it's like relatively safe. Riding in the city changes your perspective on city life completely. Ichirinsha. I've never ridden an Ichirinsha, but as far as I can tell, they would be probably underrated. It's probably really fun to ride one. I'm gonna go ahead and say underrated because the experience is probably awesome.
Times Car Share.
Times Car Share is amazing. Underrated. Times Car Share is the future. So basically, you get this card, and with this card and an app, you basically reserve a car, which is like in your immediate proximity. I go to the car after having reserved it for a certain amount of time. I take this card and I like put the card against this reader on the back door. Doors all open. I sit in the car, take out the key, drive wherever I want. I don't pay for gas. I don't pay for like anything except for tolls. And it's basically about $8 per hour. And it is amazing. The price is like unbeatable.
Mamachari.
Underrated. Mamacharis are basically bicycles that are ridden typically by mothers. They can be retrofitted to carry stuff like groceries or to carry children, both of whom are almost always wearing helmets. And then the mom is just not because that's Japan. But mamacharis are amazing. They're really convenient and they're often motorized, which makes it easier to get from point A to point B. Really expensive, really heavy, but really convenient. And definitely, I would say, almost underrated.
Motorcycle.
Underrated. Japan is amazing for motorcycles. The areas you can go to and the kind of the twisties that you can ride on, it's amazing. It's hugely, I think, underrated.
Scooters.
Scooters, hugely underrated. Scooters are an extremely convenient way to get from point A to point B. The beauty of scooters is that you can go anywhere and you can basically illegally park all the time because a scooter is basically considered like a bicycle. So you can just park it on the sidewalk, in front of buildings, like kind of anywhere, and it's okay.
Highway buses.
Highway buses are also amazing. These are a bargain, underrated. So this is if you're trying to go from Tokyo to Osaka and you don't want to ride the ridiculously expensive train, you can just get an overnight bus and they're really, really affordable. It's like probably 20 to 30 bucks to go from Tokyo to Osaka on the overnight bus. On the Shinkansen, that might be like $150 one way.
Cars.
Cars, using them outside of the city, appropriately rated. Buying one and keeping it in the city, massively overrated. There's no reason to own a vehicle living in central Tokyo at all.
Ferry.
Ferries, underrated. You can get to some pretty cool places just off the tip of Tokyo by riding ferries. It's a cool experience if you have the option of flying or taking the ferry. I'd go with the ferry.
Walking.
Walking is hugely underrated, guys. Walking is one of the most simple and effective forms of exercise. Walking is so easy and so accessible by such a massive part of the population. People in Japan do lots of walking, even if they ride the train or drive cars around. But in general, the walk to and from trains just to get places is a huge part of the reason I think Japanese people probably have overall better like cardiovascular health or health in general.
Nippon Rent-A-Car.
Nippon Rent-A-Car. Used to use it, will never use it again. Overrated. If you're gonna rent a car, rent it from Times Car Share. Guys, I could not overemphasize how amazing the thing is. And that's it. I hope you guys like this. Please remember to subscribe, hit the notifications button, and give this video a thumbs up so that I know you guys liked it. And I'm happy to do more of these if you guys want. Just let me know what you think. Drop some notes in the comments below, and stay tuned for more videos just like this. Later.